Homework does more harm than good as it deprives students of sleep, causes an extreme amount of stress, and mental diseases like depression and anxiety.
Teenagers are supposed to get about 9.25 hours of sleep each night. And normally, to get up to go to school, a student should get up at around 6:15 in the morning. This would mean you'd have to go to bed at 9:15. That can't be possible because a majority of people in high school do sports or are involved in clubs or other extracurricular activities. A majority of the sports are supposed to take up most of our time with practices and games. When those end later, you end up having to start your homework at a later time and then adding in studying and dinner. You end up losing a lot more sleep. Now, you could say that you don't have to do sports, but colleges don't look at just grades anymore. They look at all of your extracurricular activities plus grades plus volunteer work. Average homework amount is 3 hours a night, but with studying for tests and other things, it could add up about 4.5 hours.
There is no denying the effect stress has on our bodies and minds. In a study from Stanford University, out of the 4,317 students from 10 different upper middle class schools, 76% of them considered homework their primary source of stress. 33% of students said that their stressor was on making good grades, and only 1% said that homework didn't stress them at all. From this same group of people, the average amount of homework is 3.1 hours of homework a night, although the benefits of homework stop at around 90 minutes for middle school students and 2.5 hours for high school students. The stress brought on from homework often brings on physical and mental issues such as headaches, exhaustion, sleep deprivation, weight loss, stomach problems, anxiety, and depression. Many students often work for 13 hours a day to merely stay afloat in school. This, along with the amount of time it takes for transportation, eating, hygiene, and extracurricular activities, students have next to no time for things that they enjoy and the very needed sleep. These things often cause depression and anxiety, so not only are students letting their grades slip as pressure becomes too much, but in an effort to do well, they're having to choose between grades and mental stability.
The good thing about homework is that it teaches you to manage your time better, keep a schedule, and also stay organized. This also gives students a sense of responsibility and shows them a bit of insight of what adult life will be like, unable to make an excuse to get out of doing things they don't wish to do. Homework also improves a student's punctuality. They tend to get things in on time, knowing that their future depends on it. Students start to learn at a young age that there are no shortcuts in life, and the only way to get ahead is to do the work that is needed to be done.
When there are 4 or more hours of homework a night on top of the 8 hours we spend at school, it barely leaves any time for the necessary things to be managed. This makes it very hard to keep a consistent schedule, making things turn into an unorganized mess that leads to the student just getting more frustrated and stressed until they hit their limit and can no longer handle anything else, and everything starts to slip.
Even though there are some pros to having homework, such as teaching you what tactics to use in the future, having so much is slowly breaking down the students mentally and physically. Students end up not getting enough time and sleep and having around 4.5 hours of homework after a sports game or practice. Kids can physically get sick from all the stress that is given, and that's mainly from homework and making good grades. The homework load needs to die down a little so students can stay healthy and also focus on their mental health instead of worrying about what homework is due.